my scrappy friends. So I have another layout for you today, and this one I did over the weekend. So I am just looking through my Scraptastic kit for October, the Heart It Races, and I have quite a bit of stuff, as you can see. I haven't been as productive with my kits lately. I think it's because I've bought in quite a bit of stuff the past couple of months as far as collection packs go, so which is nice because it keeps me nice and busy. I like to switch back and forth from kit to collection and stuff. I find that sometimes I get bored if I just scrap straight through with my kit. So here I'm just looking through and seeing which whole papers I want to use, and I knew I wanted to use that sequin type looking one from Pebbles, and I wanted to use that other one from, I want to say it's from the Scrumptious line, but I didn't end up using that, from Chickenity. So I decided on that one that looked like sequins. I really wanted to try to go with something simple and easy because the background is pretty busy. I mean, I know a lot lately I've been using like a white background or craft or like a cardstock and then doing stuff to it, but this one actually has a lot to it. So, and I really wanted to use that October, I think it's October Afternoon, or maybe it's Fancy Pants. That was in a kit a little while ago that, like a couple of months ago, I think it was in our Scraptastic kit. So I really wanted to use it, and I really liked that color with the background paper. So here I'm just looking through some of the papers that I actually picked out, and I knew I didn't want to go super crazy. Now, I printed this photo at home, and I have an HP printer, and I printed it with, it's not quite a sepia type of look, but it's a more brown tones. So it's not quite black and white, but it's not quite, so it looks a little, I want to say, antique-y, which I actually really, really like for this photo. It really brings out my husband and my daughter's faces more than just like maybe what the colors in the background would have looked like, because they were in a diner. My husband, when he can, he will take my daughter to physical therapy, because she goes to physical therapy a couple times a week to help her with her walking, because she has had a lot of muscle loss due to all the chemo that she's on. So we have found that physical therapy really helps, and it, you know, I mean, she does a lot of simple stuff, but she likes it, and she really loves it when her daddy comes with her. And because he works like a lot of dads, right? It's hard for him to go with her to stuff like this, because if he's working during the day or he's working at night and then he has to sleep during the day, sometimes it's kind of hard for him to go. So that on the side there is my daughter Kaden. I was doing this during the day, and so, which is why the lighting is a little bit different. It was like not quite sunny, not quite, it's a rainy season here, so sometimes it's sunny and then sometimes it's not, and it can be like all different things throughout the day. So I found it really hard to get the lighting right during the day because I am near a window, which lets in more natural light, but it makes it harder when you use a lot of lights. So, but in that Chickenity ephemera pack that we got in this, that I got in the Scraptastic kit, has tons of frames, and I thought, hey, this would be really cool to use the frames to kind of make, to go, that library card goes to the left, yeah, and then I wanted something to go up, kind of like an L, but I didn't want it to be like to actually take up the space. I wanted something that you could see. So I was like, hey, I'm going to use these frames up. Every once in a while, I get inspired to use the frames just in a different way, not necessarily just to frame my picture. So here I am just kind of fiddling with the frames, and I'm going to fiddle with them quite a bit just because I want to. Now, I didn't, unlike what I usually do, which is just tape everything down right away, I didn't do that this time. So I really wanted to make sure before I put everything down that I kind of had it where I wanted it, which made it a little difficult because it was moving around, which made me realize why I like to tape it down in the first place. But it is a lot harder if you know you have to move things around. So I use a little bit of the Notes and Things paper from Crepe Paper, and I use some Chamel paper. I use an orange piece, and I know I use the papers Hopper, Curie, and Earhart. And one of them is like a teal aqua color with some words on it and some hearts. And that's what I used on the outside. But so I really liked how using this this not very colory photo helped and blend with all the different colors, because there's so many different colors in here and they all work really, really well together. But I feel like it helps not take away from the photo. So you notice the photo more because the colors, it's just one color, or mostly one color. So here I figured out where I wanted them, and I use just plain old, that's Glossy Accents. Well, it's either Glossy or it's Crackle, because I bought both thinking that I could use, the Crackle on embellishments, which sometimes I do, but I don't use it that much. I usually use it underneath, so, but it's kind of nice to have that option if I want it. So I wanted one of them to hang off, too, so that little tiny one up at the top. And I tried to go with colors that either were in the paper or in some of the papers that I went with. Now, I also used some of the cut aparts from the cut and print sheet that came with the kit. And I used some Teresa Collins stickers, too, from the 9 & Company. And those were all, and this is, except for that photo, or not the photo, the library card pocket thing, I think pretty much everything is from my kit. So at this point, I haven't really taken it apart yet. Sometimes once I get a few layouts in, I will start adding a lot more from my stash. And I haven't done that yet. So I actually still have last month's kit put down, or separated still, and I just did a layout the other night with some of that, so I'll be sharing that in a few days probably. I actually have quite a few done ahead of schedule, which is not how it has been. But I really enjoyed doing this layout. It's just because life is busy and I don't always remember to get my camera out when my husband and my daughter interact, but it's just so fun to watch them interact. As a mom, it just really warms my heart to see how my daughter and my husband interact. I mean, and he interacts great with the other kids too, so he loves all of them, but just the relationship that they have is just so special. And I love it when I can get moments like this. And of course, I didn't take this photo. They actually took it, which is really nice because my daughter is on this I don't always want you to take my picture phase, which I hope it doesn't last. But it may, because she is a girl. But I love her smile in it, and just the fact that she's smiling because it's Daddy, and she just loves him. She loves him to pieces. He's like the best person in the whole world. And so it's just so fun to see their relationship just as it's grown. And so here I'm taping it down, and I tape it pretty good. I don't know why. I didn't really need to. And that cardstock is just American Craft cardstock from the kit. And it's a really light black. It's like a charcoaly type of black, maybe. So I'm not sure what I'm doing. I know since it's during the day, I kind of was getting up a little bit. And at this point, I know I want to put some sequins on because the paper looks like sequins. So I look around and see what sequins I can find. And I have to find pop dots for, I find a flare that says like forever. And I just thought the colors matched. I don't know if it necessarily goes with the layout, but maybe the fact that it's a teenager kid type phrase that maybe someone would say, because I know I'm going to age myself again, right? As a 31-year-old, I don't really use words like forever, or I try not to. But for something like this, it kind of is fun to use it for the kids. So I guess that would be the only place that I would use it. I put one of the stickers behind there, and I end up putting the title up there too, because I really wanted to leave a lot of open space. So I do use a whole bunch of sequins. So a lot of this is spent doing that. So here, that didn't look straight to me. So I fiddled around with that quite a bit. And that heart with the XO actually was in one of the frames, in the middle of one of the frames. Because the frames were there was 3 different frames in one frame, which is really nice because it makes your pack go really far, but it's not so nice if you want to get your pack used, because I love the ephemera packs. I would say that the ephemera pieces are probably one of my favorite things, because you can layer them in and tuck them and cut them, and you can do so much with them. And sorry for the shot of my head, which apparently I didn't brush it together well enough when I put it together. It's crazy hair. So here I'm trying to sort through. Now, and these are Stampin' Up! Sequins, and they're from the In Colors from last year, I think. So there's a teal color, a minty green, an almost gold color. It's not quite gold, but it's almost. A hot pink, a hot tur pink. It's a little bit deeper pink than just bright hot pink, and then a corally pink color. So I really like the colors, and those Stampin' Up! Sequins, you get 750. I'll probably be using them for 10 years. And no lie, because I don't know how I can use it. I might have to figure out how to do a shaker, one of those shaker cards or something, or do something like that on a layout. I haven't tried that yet, so here I'm just gluing them down, and I just use the glue, and then I put it down with my finger, which was posing a problem because my finger was getting all funky with the glue tip. I'm sure if I had one of those handy dandy tweezer tools, that would be really nice, but like a lot of us, I am on a budget, and so I try a tool that I know I could do with my fingers, unless I really think that I'll probably use it a ton. I don't know if I'm going to spend the money for it. And yes, it's not a ton of money, and it would be a great tool to have, but I've just found that I've kind of been sitting on tools sitting on buying certain tools because I know that there's other ways I can do it. And maybe as I get scrapping, for 3, 4, 10 years, I will find that, those other tools will be nice to have, but I can just gradually get them. And hey, those are great tools for stocking stuffers, right? Maybe if my husband's watching or listening, he'll hear that. That kind of stuff is good for stocking stuffers, hon. He does actually listen to the channel, by the way, which I appreciate. He's my biggest fan, so I love him. He works so hard for us, and like I said, I love when he can do stuff like this with the kids, just because he can have that time to spend with our kids since he works a lot. And the military, you know, they require a lot of you. It's a great environment sometimes to be in for us. I mean, it's definitely been worth it for the healthcare, but you know, you definitely lose that family time that you might not have with some other jobs. So here I decide that I'm going to use some embroidery thread and some hemp twine, and I keep them in those little like Walmart stores containers, just because I can shove them in there and then put them in on the side. You can see that's where I keep a lot of my embellishment things. I mean, I have a lot on my desk now because I'm starting to get a pretty good collection. I'm probably going to have to get another shelf at some point, like one of those slider shelves or something. I'm trying not to overexpand because I don't have my own craft room. So, hey, if any of you guys have some great tips for storing stuff like that, let me know. I love to see other people's videos on their storage just to kind of get an idea. I mean, in the end, you have to do what feels right to you, but sometimes you gotta fool around with some stuff. And being newer, I found that it's just, I try different things for a little while, and I found some things that work and some things that don't. So yeah. So here I'm putting down the title, and I use like one of my favorite thickers, and I'm gonna have to buy more. Hopefully they still make them when I go for more, because I love them. I love the color, and I just love how they fit because they're thinner than a lot of the other thickers. And they are the Amy Tan thickers that are the match thickers, and they're an aqua. So, and then those ones that I'm using for with are the Chickanity Alpha stickers, and they're the color that go with they go a lot with the paper line. So they match really, really well with those frames. I thought it would be nice to mix one of the words up. And so the title is Lunchtime with Daddy. I'm horrible with titles, and maybe as I get scrapping more and more, the journaling will flow better into my title making. I will say that. That's one place that I've not seen a whole lot of growth in me. I've grown and learned so much with techniques and everything. I think I've kind of put that on the back burner. And I know, like, for me, probably in the new year, that's one thing I want to focus on is like tying my journaling into my titles better, and just so it flows better. I mean, and after a while, I mean, I don't want to be using the same titles all the time. Right? So I use some Chickanity stars because I dropped something on that photo, some glue, and if I had the glue be gone, I might be able to get it up. I don't know how it works on printed photos though, since the ink, you know, just goes on top of the paper. And I use some different colors. And I also used some Pebbles ones. And then I found some, I think they were in the kit from this month, but I'm not positive about that. There's some cork and wood hand-drawn stars. And so they're really, really fun. And so I use a few of those around the title and in that little cluster there with the enamel stuff. And I just use that green enamel. Oh yeah, and then I put some on the other sides just to kind of draw a little bit of interest to where my journaling is, and then on the others just to tie it all into that picture. And so I put the date, which I had to look up, which was in October, and I don't think I found the actual date, so I didn't fill that in yet, but I know it was in October, so it was this month. And then here I'm using my Pebbles stamp date stamp. Yeah. Phew. And it's not even that late, guys. It's only 9:30. It's like super early for me. My husband switched shifts, so now I'm trying to edit earlier so that we can spend time together because he works during the day. So, you know, got to spend time with the hubby. So now that he's home, it's nice having him home at dinner time and everything. So here's my journaling, and I just say how nice it is to have her smile. Now, and I only filled in one side, and I might later on decide to fill in the other side. The other side doesn't have lines on it, but it is really nice to have that opportunity to have that if later on I want to add more to it or have my husband add something, which is a good idea, right? About what was going on, I think that was part of what I was thinking, is having my husband do some of that. So I just pretty much said what I said to you guys about that for the journaling. And so here's some close-ups, and I hope you guys enjoyed this layout, and I love to hear your comments and interact with you guys. So leave some comments and like if you like it. If you don't, then that's cool too. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye!